Section 3.2 is about the slope of a line, and you'll see at the top that there's many different ways that people refer to slope or talk about slope. So they can just say slope. The official variable for it is m. Some people call it rise over run if you're graphing it. That's kind of the terms that you use for getting to the next point. Some people say change in y over change in x. You can say delta y over delta x. That means the same thing. And then the actual formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that's what we're going to be using here. But these are all appropriate ways to talk about slope. So my directions say calculate the slope of the line passing through each pair of points, and then indicate whether the line through the points rises, falls, is horizontal or vertical. So if you look at the notes, if you have a positive slope, it's going to rise, which means your line goes up as you go from left to right. So everything is with regards to left to right. So if you have a negative slope, it's going to go down as you go from left to right. If m is 0, it's going to be horizontal, and if m is undefined, then it's going to be vertical. So if I look at my first 2 points, I'm going to label these. You don't have to, but I think it can help. So this is my x1, my y1, my x2, and my y2. So if I use the formula, this is going to be y2 minus y1. So I'm looking at this formula. So y2 is 4 minus y1 is 1. This is over x2 minus x1. So x2 is 5, x1 is 3. And that's going to give me 3 over 2. And that would be my slope. So if you were graphing this, that would mean you would go up 3 and over 2. We don't have to graph it. Now this is a positive number. So what that means is this is going to rise, or this rises. So it would look something like this. It's going up as you go from left to right. Let's do another one. Let's do number 2. Again, I want to label these. So x1, y1, x2, y2. And this will be negative 3 minus negative 3 all over 4 minus negative 6. So there's a lot of minuses in this one. If you look at these minuses, those are coming from the formula itself. So there's subtractions in the formula. But the other negatives are coming from the points. So let's actually get rid of those double negatives. It'll be negative 3 plus 3 and 4 plus 6. So that's going to give you 0 over 10, and that's equal to 0. So if you have a 0 slope, that means that this is a horizontal line. One other thing about both of these is that the order doesn't matter. Well, the order matters, but what you declare as point 1 and what you declare as point 2 doesn't matter. So we called this the point 1 and this the point 2. But if you really wanted to, you could call this point 1, so x1, y1, and this point 2, so x2, y2. And you would get the same answer. The numbers would work out. So that's fine. The only thing that you can't do is you can't mix and match like what you're calling the first point, what you're calling the second point. So if I call this x1, I have to call this y1. I can't call this y2. That's not allowed. So you have to match them up.